guys? Welcome back to Chuck ASMR. For tonight's video, I'm kind of excited. I just went to my DVD collection and picked some different movies with some different genres. Just kind of randomly picked a few to talk about and maybe make some sounds with tonight. So I had mentioned doing this video because I have thousands of movies that don't really serve any purpose for me anymore because everything is streaming. So even if I want to watch one of the movies I have, I usually look to see if it's on a streaming service before I get up and actually put it into the Blu-ray player. So I thought this would be a good way to kind of talk about some movies and put my collection to use for the first time in a while. So we will get into that. It looks like I have about 4 movies here that I'll talk about, but I just want to get a candle lit. Because for some reason when I film down here, it's nice to have a candle lit. It makes it smell nice. It's relaxing. Alright. And it's a wood-wick candle. So you might hear it crackling in the back. This actually isn't this candle. I had to relocate one of my candles because I knocked it off of my desk and smashed the glass. So I had to relocate it. Alright. So I'm just going to be talking about each movie a little bit. Maybe some tracing, some tapping, and the thing with DVDs is that they all kind of sound the same, so I'll do my best to get some different sounds in there when I can. Okay, so the first movie that I picked is actually, I think, still to this day, my favorite animated movie of all time. Excuse me. It is Monster House. Monster House. Which I believe came out in 2006. July 2006. But this is, I saw this movie, I think I was in middle school, but I just loved it as soon as I saw it, and it's one of those movies I would just pop in all the time, even if I didn't plan on watching anything. Go to sleep to it, just have it on in the background. It's very funny, and also a little creepy, which I enjoyed even as a kid. But I think it's rated PG, but I think a lot of really young kids might be a little scared because the house comes alive and is done so by a dead ghost of a wife. Sorry, spoiler if you haven't seen it. But it's like 16 years old, so. But I just think the animation style is kind of cool. I remember watching a special features on this, and they were in green suits and had all the balls on them, so it's similar to the process that they used, and the same director, Robert Zemeckis, who did Polar Express. So it's kind of that like creepy, disjointed animation a little bit. But this is one of those movies I know a lot of the dialogue to. It's got Maggie Gyllenhaal in it. She plays the babysitter. Who else do we have? Steve Buscemi, Catherine O'Hara, Fred Willard. But yes, if you have not seen this movie, I recommend it if you like animated movies. I'm not a huge fan of animated movies. I usually watch all the Pixar ones, but I don't know. This isn't a class all its own as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't a huge hit. I think it came out in July of 2006. And it wasn't like massively successful. Like Frozen or something. But it's not Disney, it's Sony Animation. Let me trace the cover. Monster. Monster House. But yes, if you have some older kids, I definitely recommend this movie. Let me know if you've seen it and if you like it. And if you don't, why? Oh, it also has John Heder in it, from Napoleon Dynamite fame. His character in this is funny. I'm trying to think of their names. That is Chester, I think. Chester. What is the main guy's name? Oh, that's gonna... DJ. And it's Chowder. It's not Chester. Wow. I guess I need to watch it again. We just got a new fish and I named it Chester. Maybe that's why I thought it was Chester. Okay, so Monster House. So I picked an animated movie here, which it's getting close to fall, so I'll be watching that very soon. And then I could do just a horror movie version of this, but I know not everyone's into horror, especially watching ASMR, so I got the Final Destination series. We have the original Final Destination, Final Destination 2, which it's got some reflex to that. Look at that. Look at that. favorite, Final Destination 3, with a tanning bed scene that is truly terrifying and extremely uncomfortable. And we have the Final Destination, which was incorrectly named because it was not the Final Destination, because we also have Final Destination 5. I think I saw all of these in theaters except for the original one. I think I was a little too young to probably go and see that in theaters. But the third movie, which is probably why I like it so much, was one of the most fun theater going experiences I have had. It's a nice sticky sound on these. So if you're not familiar with Final Destination series, death is kind of like a character in these movies. So somebody has a premonition that something bad is going to happen. In the first one, it's a plane crash. In the second one, it is like a car pileup on a highway. In the third one, the main character has a premonition about a roller coaster going off of its tracks. The Final Destination, I believe, I get the last two confused, but I believe the fourth one is NASCAR. Yeah. They're at a NASCAR game, and I think one of the cars goes off the tracks and goes into the stand. And then in 4 or 5, there is a bridge collapsing scene, which is great. But the character has the premonition about the event happening, and then they usually get off or avoid that event because of the premonition. And then death comes back and kills the people who avoided the first event in very unique ways, in very gross ways in some cases, but creative. Kind of thought this series was underrated. I mean, it was pretty popular for a while, but I don't think it kind of got the credit it deserved for how clever it was, and it was so original at the time. But they're not as much of a classic as other movies that came out around this time. If you've seen all of them, what is your favorite? I'll do some tracing. So the first one came out in, I believe it was the late 90s. Nope. This is 2000, the year 2000, and this is a very 2000s cover, 2000s horror movie cover. I think they all just kind of followed the same. You put your teen stars in the front, and then you put the name with something ominous up here. It must have been effective. I hope that's not too far away. His name is Devin Sawa. I don't know if I've seen him in anything other than this movie. And then you've got Allie Larder, who's right there. Sorry if these are out of frame. Sean William Scott, who's not even listed up here, and then Kerr Smith right there. And death doesn't take a no for an answer. Okay. And then we have number 2, which I still to this day, whenever I'm driving and there's a log truck in front of me, I get around it as fast as possible because of this movie. I haven't seen the second one in a very long time. I should watch it. Final Destination 2. You can't cheat death twice. I think they're going to cheat it about 3 more times. But I think Scary Movie 2 parodied the names of horror movie sequels. I think their tagline was no something, no sequels, and it was the sequel itself. I don't know, it was ironic, but I can't remember the first part of it, so. And Andre Johnston of US Magazine says, a first degree guilty pleasure. And this one came out in, I want to say 2003. I don't know, it doesn't say. I'll have to check that out later. And Kevin Thomas says, a real jolter, not for the faint of heart. It has got an interactive menu. Cool. It is so crazy how these are like actual relics now. Okay, on to my favorite. Final Destination 3, which came out in February 2006. The first year I started collecting movies, how old was I? Like 11 or 12 was, well, I wasn't 11 or 12 in 2006. I was more like 15. But that is like prime time. I would see every movie in theaters. I would buy every movie that came out with the little money that I had. So I can tell you a lot about from 2006 to like 2011, 2012 movies. Anything you want to know. How much did something make? What kind of reviews did it get? I was always kind of into the box office and business aspect of movies and how much they made, just as much as I was in actually seeing the movie itself. And as you can imagine, that passion just kind of waned over the years. But I still really enjoy entertainment numbers, like what the charts are or what the box office is and how much money something making or how much something sold. I don't know why that interests me so much, but I can't remember numbers to save my life. But I can remember those numbers. Anyway, yes, this came out in February 2006. It has Mary Elizabeth Winstead as the main character, and I think Ryan Merman, what's his name? Yeah, from Disney movies. Do you remember this guy? He was in Luck of the Irish on the Disney Channel. Smart House is what I know him from, also from the Disney Channel. Comment if you know what I'm talking about. But I used to really be into getting the 2-disc editions. If there was the opportunity, I was going to get the 2-disc edition. So some of the death scenes in this one, like I said, the original one, they're at a town fair, and for some reason they have a full-size amusement park roller coaster at their small town fair, which is hilarious. But it goes off the tracks and it kills people. Sorry about the car. But Mary Elizabeth has a vision about it, so it doesn't end up happening. But then it starts to take them one by one. Death does. And a really memorable death from this is a tanning bed. And they get locked in the tanning bed, and it's pretty horrifying. Final Destination 3 2-disc thrill ride edition. A super scary ride! Exclamation point, says Thelma Adams of US Weekly. Oh, and there's a choose their fate version. You're in control of the movie. Change the course of the film and the characters' fates. Man, they were giving us content on these DVDs. Okay. The 4th installment, which is the Final Destination. And I was right, this is the NASCAR one. This is probably my least favorite, if I'm remembering correctly. It's just got like too many sequels, energy going on. And it's just kind of like bad acting and stuff. I mean, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm pretty sure this came out in 3D when 3D was yeah, this came out in 2009, so, or no, 2010, so right after Avatar came out, and everything was in 3D for a good 2 years. But it was cool in 3D. I remember liking it. The first 5 credits is just words and knives and glass flying at you for the title credits. And it's only 82 minutes long, so. But it's definitely worth a watch. Prepare for the ride everyone is dying to see. But I think this one made quite a bit of money, which is why there was another one after it, because if something makes some money, there's always going to be a sequel. Well, most of the time anyway. The final destination. But yeah, I just didn't think the opening scene in this one at the NASCAR stadium is nearly as strong as the other ones. And then just the characters aren't as developed and the acting's not as good. But I mean, the death scenes are still pretty good in this one, I think. Okay, that is the Final Destination, which is in fact not the Final Destination, because here we have Final Destination 5. I probably like the artwork, the cover of this artwork, the best of all of them. It's just the most simple, I think, and it's just the most visual anyway. And let's trace Final Destination, the words again. Final Destination 5. Oh no, there is no tagline. I like the taglines for horror movie sequels. But Joseph McCabe from FearNet.com says it's the bloodiest, biggest, and best Final Destination of all. It's very good. If I'm not mistaken, this might have the best reviews of the whole franchise. Oh yeah, so the opening is a bridge scene, and then there is, oh yeah, a LASIK. They really went in on this one. There's a LASIK, she's having LASIK surgery death, and then acupuncture, which is, I feel like they took some people's biggest fears into account. But yes, this one was good, and this came out, it says 2011, so it came out right after the last one. But yes, that is the Final Destination series. If you have not seen these, go out and see them. Next, I guess it would kind of be the comedy drama portion. But we have a classic as far as I'm concerned. It's Little Miss Sunshine. Let me, so you can see it. It's hard with the ring light. I love this movie so much. It's got Greg Kinnear, Steve Carell, who's one of my favorites, Toni Collette, who's one of my favorites. There's a show called United States of Terra that I love, and she deserves. Well, I think she did win an Emmy for that, but her performance in that is amazing. It's such a good show. Has Brie Larson in it too. We got Paul Dano, and I think this is Abigail Breslin's first movie, and Alan Arkin. But this came out in 2006, I believe. Yes, 2006. And it was just like this independent movie with a low budget, and it was kind of a sleeper hit. But it's about this kind of dysfunctional family, but what family isn't? And Abigail Breslin, someone drops out in the Little Miss Sunshine pageant, and she gets picked to go. And hilarity and some other things. And so this is another movie that is one of my favorites, and I could watch over and over again. I tried to pick movies that aren't like, Avengers or something that everybody's seen, maybe some, not like people don't know about Little Miss Sunshine, but it's not as many people have seen that as like super commercially successful films. But this is definitely they say a dramedy, which could be one of my favorite genres, but even the drama kind of has an aspect of comedy to it, so I wouldn't say it's feel good. Would you say Little Miss Sunshine is a feel good movie? I mean, I guess so, yeah. There's been no more satisfying American comedy this year. Little Miss Sunshine dropped from celluloid heaven. I remember I got this for Christmas in 2006. I used to ask for a lot of movies for Christmas. But I had just seen that it was kind of like a sleeper hit, so I had never seen it. I didn't see it in theaters or anything. And so I watched it on Christmas that year. And I loved it. Abigail Breslin is great in this movie. And their van doesn't get going until they reach a certain speed. So that's what they're all doing here. They push the van until it kicks into gear and they can go. Sorry if my tracing's terrible. I can't think of a better way to do it. Little Miss Sunshine. Winning, hilarious, and heartwarming. But yes, if you have not seen this, look for it and watch it. It's good. Okay, moving on. I think we have two more here. This is another kind of indie movie that I think is hilarious. I don't know. It's probably not everybody's taste, but it is. This movie called Smiley Face. And it has Anna Faris in it, who I was and still am a huge fan of ever since Scary Movie. She plays the most aloof characters, and I just find her so funny. But this is about Jane, who's right there hugging the happy balloon, and Jane accidentally eats her roommate's pop brownies, and the day she embarks on afterward is very funny. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while, so I wonder what I would think of it now. But there's like a lot of stuff going on in this. Slacker actress Jane F. is having a bad day that is getting more outrageous by the minute. Jane's misadventures begin when she treats herself to a batch of cupcakes left by her psycho roommate, which is played by Danny Masterson from that 70s show, that prove not as innocent as they appear. She then bums a ride from her roommate's friend, John Krasinski, who is totally infatuated with her and attempts to cross town so she can repay an unforgiving drug dealer, attend an audition, and somehow replace the precious cupcakes. Enjoy the wild journey as Jane's efforts to get through her day prove an arduous task of epic proportions. While I was reading that, I remembered a scene where she is, when she gets to her audition with Jane Lynch. It's very funny. Anna Faris was in everything in the early 2000s. But if you've seen this, please comment. I really don't know anyone who had watched this other than my friends and people I forced to watch it when I was younger. Think Harold and Kumar, except with just one chick trying to get to the beach, says Whitney Pastorek of Entertainment Weekly. Very funny movie. And finally, and I really kind of just picked this one because it's in different packaging. I thought it might make a different sound. I mean, I also love the movie, but slightly different sound. But it is Jurassic World, which honestly could be one of the last movies I bought. Because obviously I don't buy movies anymore. But I love Jurassic Park, the original movies, so when this was coming out, I was very excited. My sister and I went because she also loves it, and we were blown away. I just thought the concept of them opening a theme park around the area where the other movies took place was brilliant. I just thought it was really clever and a good storyline. And there was just enough of like nostalgia from the old movies without overdoing it, in my opinion. this, along with Guardians of the Galaxy, made the guy from Parks and Rec the biggest movie star on the planet, which is crazy. I like Chris Pratt though. But I really like him as Andy in Parks and Rec. I guess more than a superhero movie star. And it's also got Bryce Dallas Howard in it. I like her too. And she runs in heels in the end. And they do like an up-close shot on it too, so they were kind of asking for it. This scene, though, was in the trailer, and that really made me excited to see it. When the giant dinosaur, I guess, are they called dinosaurs in the water? I don't know. Jumps out and grabs the shark, I think. I don't know. It got me very excited. I love this movie. The sequels, not so much. The newest one I haven't seen yet. It just came out this year. But I was very disappointed with the second one, so I didn't really feel the need to go out and see it right away. The Jurassic World theme park lets guests experience the thrill of witnessing actual dinosaurs. But something ferocious lurks behind the park's attractions. A genetically modified dinosaur with savage capabilities. When the massive creature escapes, chaos erupts around the island. Now it's up to Owen, Chris Pratt, and Claire, Bryce Dallas Howard, to save the park's tourists from an all-out prehistoric assault. Let's see here. Oh, I should have been doing this the whole time. So I was too young to see the original Jurassic Park in theaters. I would give anything to go back and be able to see that in theaters. But I did see 2 and 3 in theaters. My parents took us to see them. And I have very fond memories of those movies. I feel like the movie industry right now is just literally based in only nostalgia. I just saw an ad today for Pinocchio. Will be on Disney Plus later. It's just like, there's so many. Mulan, Dumbo, Lion King, and Aladdin, and they're just literally live action versions of the same frame for frame, it seems like. It's just, I don't know. I don't have anything against remakes or sequels and stuff, but sometimes I'm just like craving original content. Good thing there's television. I feel like the most interesting stuff is just now on TV and Netflix and Prime and Hulu. But like, movies just aren't as exciting to me anymore. But this made a ton of money, I think, at the time. time at the highest grossing opening weekend of all time, since been passed by Marvel and some other movies, I think, but at the time it was huge. So, those are all the movies that I had brought down to my closet in the basement tonight. I gotta tell you, I had a ton of fun doing this video. I hope that you liked it. Please let me know if you liked it. I would love for this to be a series where I just get to list off this useless movie knowledge that I've acquired throughout many years. So it's perfect for me. But yeah, just let me know if you liked it and if you would like to see more of these videos. And other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and subscribe to Chuck ASMR, where I release a new video every week. Thanks again, and I will be seeing you all very, very soon.